I'll start by showing you the tapping points, and I'm going to keep them really simple. There are a few different patterns, so you may see it differently. Some people tap on two sides. I use one side, and actually it's brilliant because if you are holding a baby, let's go with one side is even better. And the order is quite nice to remember. So we start with tapping on the side of the hand. This is our first acupressure point. So it's just on the side of the hand, on the little finger side, if you're listening. So we just tap here. The tap is not hard. It shouldn't be sore. It's a very gentle tap just with two fingers. Then we move on to the crown of the head. If you can see me, crown of the head, so right at the back. Again, a gentle tap. Shouldn't hurt, shouldn't feel sore. About 5 to 6 times. Next point is the inner eyebrow. And so you notice all of these points are moving top to bottom. This is just so that we can remember them easy. Inner eyebrow, so just on the inside of the eyebrow, nice and soft. Outer eye, so we come now to the outside of the eye, just tapping there, onto the cheek. So this one on the cheek under the eye is a really nice releasing point, and I find people often resonate with this one. So sometimes we even pause here and tap twice under the eye. Under the nose is the next point. So it doesn't matter too much if you can't remember them all if you're just beginning, but I will always guide through when I'm guiding a tap onto the chin to give you as little to think about as possible onto the chin. Now the next one is the only one I find slightly hard to describe for people. It's the collarbone point. You know, if you scrunch up your collarbones, there's a little point in here, just tapping in here. And this is the one that most people instinctively go to when they're stressed. So I will also teach you a little emergency EFT technique at the end of this, just tapping here on the collarbone. There's one under the arm along the bra strap, and sometimes I skip this one, particularly with mums if you've got your hands full under the arm. And then I come to the wrist point. Not everybody includes this, but this is really, really good. This is a nausea point as well. So morning sickness, very, very gently, we use it with these wristbands. And then we move through the finger points, all of the fingers, one at a time. Just tapping on the outside of the fingers. People do this differently, but I choose to just tap on the outside of the fingers. So those are the tapping points. So the main thing to remember is we always start on the side of the hand, and this is where we set up our problem, and then we tap top to bottom. So what we can do today is a really short tap if you'd like, and we should tune into something fairly general, which with EFT we sometimes like to go quite specific, but for the purposes of this, I want to just tune into the word overwhelm, because I feel like that resonates a lot and it covers a lot of bases. But what I will say before we do it is EFT is an emotional, it accesses the emotions, it can be emotional. So I just ask people to take responsibility for their own emotional well-being. If they think, oh, maybe I should explore this a little bit more further one-to-one before I do this, then just be safe, watch along, maybe just watch, don't go fully into the meditation, and just tap along with us if that's where you are. So we're going to just start by grounding into the body, relaxing through the shoulders, and just take a couple of deep breaths. So bring the breath through the nose into the belly. And I just want you to bring into mind a time that's fairly recent where you felt a little overwhelmed. And I want you to keep this. If 10 is extreme and 0 is nothing, keep it around a 4 for this practice. So we're talking about a toddler tantrum, something fairly everyday overwhelm. Okay, so tune into that. See if you can sense it in the body. If I was to ask you where you feel it in the body, just pinpoint it. I'm going to say my chest, just feeling a sensation in my chest. Is it have a colour? So I'm going to say red, this red overwhelm. It's about a level 4 for me. So just tune into those readings for yourself. And as we tap through, I'm going to call upon you just to use your own frame of reference. So now tapping on the side of the hand, we're tuned into the energy. So that's really important. We're tuned into it. So even though I've got this feeling of overwhelm, I accept myself anyway. Even though I'm feeling this feeling of overwhelm, I accept myself anyway. Breathe and release the shoulders. Onto the crown of the head now. All of this overwhelm. All of this overwhelm. Moving to the inner eye. Feeling it in my chest, heart, stomach, wherever you're feeling it. Feeling it in my chest. Out of the eye. This overwhelm, just tuning into it now, just seeing it. Under the eye, 1 or 2 sides, whatever feels good. This red overwhelm, what's your colour? What colour came up for you? Just say the colour. This red overwhelm, this green, blue. Under the nose. Maybe I can just release it a little today. Maybe I can just let it go. Exhale. Onto the chin. Just noticing this feeling, this emotion. Just seeing it in my body. I can let it go now. Coming onto the collarbones. Maybe this is a bit of a signal to me. Maybe I can see this overwhelm as a bit of a sign that there's something to look at. Breathing in. We're going to come straight to the wrist point. Just letting go of this overwhelm. I don't need it right now. And then tapping through the finger points. Just going to release. Anything that I don't read right now, I can just let it go and just allow yourself to exhale. Blow out any remaining overwhelm. So just check back in. Breathe into the chest, the body, wherever you felt that feeling, and just have a little check in to the number to see where it was before, to see where it is now. Might be lower, might be higher. So we're just tuning in. So that is a 1 round of EFT. That's a chasing the pain technique. And that's often what I teach people in a basic way. I can boil it down for people to be able to use that at home when they feel that emotion. And it's just trying to discharge the energy and trying to take it. We're trying to get that number down. In reality, you might be, if you're in the moment, you might be up to 7 or 8. And then you're just trying to tap through, not making it too complicated, just using the tapping points and the breath to reduce it.